Meeting Captain Redfang. In the morning, Thane is nowhere to be found. You do, however, find a very strong-looking red dragonborn sitting by the fire. He looks like a barbarian.
Vane would ask the dragonborn's name and why they are here.
Captain Helmand Redfang, captain of the Slumbering Kraken. Well, former captain. She rests at the bottom of the sea near Koyakuba now. Gotta say, I owe you all my life for letting me stow on your ship for so long. Mighty generous of you.
Captain Helmand, you say? This slumbering kraken of yours, how did it sink? In perhaps the only war worth winning?
Alas, she was attacked by the fleet and just didn't have the firepower to withstand that kind of an attack.
Your tricks won't fool me again, Echo. You won't convince me. We had a hulking dragonborn on our ship, unaccounted for, on a ship I was the first mate on.
Yeah, Benaya finds this sus as hell. She would have noticed another dragonborn on board and probably made an effort to talk to them.
You may as well reveal yourself now and spare us the time. Vane is clearly sweating.
Given that that's Vane's reaction, Orin leans in and whispers, "Or who else do we know that isn't here this morning whose face changes?"
Orin, don't let Echo's mischief and your own preconceptions blind you. Giles is frequently missing at all times of the day, if that is who you are concerned about. This is a war camp, about to charge into enemy territory to fight against the forces Echo left behind. Our cohesion at this time is key to overcoming Smokeworks' forces, and it is already falling apart. There is no one other than Echo who both stands to gain from sowing discord between us in this way, and who would appear so boldly before us.
Okay, fair points. It's just wave usually alerts me to danger is all.
Ha ha ha! Oh no, I am definitely not Echo, but I promise you, if I ever met her, she will meet the sharp end of my blades.
That sounds like something Echo would say.
I can test it if you'd like, Vane.
As far as Giles, I think he's just really glad to be off that boat where he can stretch his legs once more. He winks at Vane.
What did you do with Giles, Echo? He says angrily. Oh, is that some Fey wordplay for banishing him to the Feywild? Vane is getting pretty worked up.
I can always banish them to test if they're from another plane. Harmless to a friend.
Benaya is wandering over at this point, wandering slowly with a bit of a dark expression. Black Razor is wrapped up in cloth and strapped to her backpack. I don't remember another dragonborn on board. Captain?
Vane, perhaps you should listen to Orin on this one. That said, I'm happy to stand up to your tests.
You heard the captain. He cracks his fingers. Banishment it is. He would then message to Thane, or he then messages to Thane, "You gotta do better than this with the backstories, bud. This is Vane we're talking about."
Dailu's spidey sense for shenanigans is tingling, so she wanders up to the fire yawning and reads the room, looks quite directly at Redfang. "So what are we doing?"
Echo has infiltrated our camp and claimed to be a Captain Redfang. Vane is looking almost feverish as he glares at Captain Redfang.
Orin goes to get up. Yes. Truly a dastardly plot is afoot, and he dumps his breakfast scraps in the fire.
She claims to have stowed away on the ship for quite some time, but I would not have overlooked that on a ship for which I am first mate.
Benaya is just crossing her arms and standing and looking grumpy.
Yes, Dailu. They think I'm Echo and won't listen to reason. Tell them how wrong they are.
Vane is squinting, trying to tell if magic is being cast on Dailu.
Dailu glances at Vane, takes in his appearance. She remembers seeing him in this state very well, and lays a hand on his arm. "It's okay, Vane." She continues staring at Captain Redfang with a "explain this now" look on her face. "What are you doing?"
talking to a group of what I thought would be welcome compatriots, but it appears they only trust people they've seen before. You know, like Sharwin, Sir Bradford, Eldetha, and Dawn. Any of which could have been and still be Echo, yet you welcome them with open arms. In fact, Echo would have a much better chance getting you to be on her side with someone you have met before, like Vuero. Maybe I should trick you all into killing a god and creating an eternal death storm. It seems like that's what it would take for you all to trust me. He storms off, probably toward the boat.
Yeah, we're the assholes.
Vane is carefully looking between Dailu and Redfang as Redfang storms off. He does not seem like he has calmed down.
Dailu looks utterly bewildered. She looks after Redfang, starts to go after him, then hesitates and turns back to Vane. It's okay, really. I don't know what's gotten into him, but I'll find out. She keeps her hand on his arm, squeezing it gently in an attempt to ground him a little. In a quieter voice, she says, "Breathe. Nice and slow. Focus on what's real. Vinaya, could you make him a cup of tea or something?"
We haven't let any of those people close to us. I've been careful. They aren't in our camp.
It's okay, buddy. That was a weird way to start the morning. You hungry? Let me get you some breakfast.
Someone needs to warn the camp that Echo is here.
Devin, you gotta make sure to warn the camp that Echo is here.
Sorry. I think I was unmuted, and then I muted myself. I was unmuted, and I think I muted myself to say the line and then re-unmuted. I'll make sure they're on high alert. You take a beat.
Vane stares at Orin for a moment.
Orin starts walking towards where he can find Don Mitchell and the others to inform them that there's a Dragonborn they haven't seen before, but he's with us.
Vane continues to stare after Orin for a moment, doing nothing.
Dailu keeps speaking to Vane, trying to get him to meet her eyes. She's not here, Vane. That was just a shitty joke. You're right. You've kept a good eye out.
Vane looks back at Dailu.
We've been careful. We won't stop either. We're here and we've got your back. You're okay. Just breathe.
Vane breathes evenly for a few moments. Giles wouldn't have done this right now, would he? Not now. We're so close.
Dailu's face falls. Like I said, I don't know what's gotten into him. I'll talk to him. She squeezes Vane's arm again. I'm sorry. Sit down, okay? Take it easy for a while.
Benai has gone to fetch 2 cups of tea, in fact. One for Vane if he wants it, the other she starts sipping herself.
Vane sits down slowly. He places one hand on his face, over his eyes. A moment passes in silence before he begins chuckling to himself in a dry, acrid tone. He continues in an apathetic scrawl devoid of his usual bluster, with disdain seeming to drip from every word. You know what's funny, Dailu?
What's that, Vane?
Vane's mouth seems to be twitching from what you can see, from what isn't covered by his hand. I'm going to have to be the one to apologize.
Dailu exchanges a very concerned look with Vinaya and Orin.
Benaya at least looks equally concerned.
You're not, Vane. Things are different now. Or, if they aren't, they're gonna be. Right, Dailu? For the first time in a month, Orin looks at Dailu without any tone to him other than sincerity. We're here for Letty. And for you.
The look Dailu exchanges with Orin is equally sincere. Yes, she says simply. I'd better go talk to him. Vane, keep breathing. She gives Vane a tentative pat on the shoulder and turns, going after Redfang, to the ship.
With Orin and Dailu's words, Vane's chuckles die down shortly thereafter. His mouth slowly stops its twitching and then stops. He remains seated in silence, his hand covering his eyes for the moment.
Sato, throughout this whole confusing situation, has been and still is meditating a bit of distance away, so she hasn't been involved in any of this. If anything, Sato hasn't reacted because battle didn't break out, and this isn't the first time a random-looking character appeared in the group without explanation, while Dailu appears to have an expression of familiarity with the new stranger.
Rub it in, Sato.
Yeah.
It ain't me. All right.